right, here we are, December 18th, purging the air from the Ford F-250 4.9 liter. Part 2. This is working great. I've hand purged the pump by cranking the fluid up into the outlet before I put the pressure line on. I've kept the reservoir filled. I purged it through. I flushed the system. The fluid was coming out of my poly line clear, so I put it back in the reservoir. I was pumping some air. This thing, it turns so quiet. It doesn't make a peep. It doesn't make a sound. But as I crank, the reservoir goes down, which is good because, oh, there are some more air bubbles. So I purged it. I put it up on the jack stands, and I turned the wheel back and forth, and some ugly fluid started coming out along with some air bubbles. So I put the return line back into my gallon jug, and now as I turn the front wheel back and forth with my knees down here, see, I turn the wheel back and forth, the fluid wants to go back and forth in the supply line, so I add a little hand crank there, and that pushes the air bubble out through the line. Now my fluid's getting low in there again, and you cannot run that fluid too low, or you are going to pump, that was pretty low. You're going to pump air into your system, and you're going to have to start all over, and you're going to need another gallon of fluid. Alright, so hopefully I didn't pump air into that. Alright, it's going pretty good. It's going clear, and I'm not getting too much air. I don't care about the air, but I don't want the dirty fluid going back in there. Okay, so now, if your poly line is long enough to go down into the fluid, that's going to keep the air bubbles from flushing back into the line as you're turning the wheels back and forth and not pumping. Okay, and I'm cranking the pump now, so it's pumping the air that's in the system out after I released it by turning the wheel. So apparently there can be like 1.5 quarts of air in this system, and if you don't get it all out of there, now you see the more bubbles that come up, and I keep cranking, it's putting fluid in there, but it's also taking a lot of, I might actually put a little air in there, so I'm gonna have to keep cranking on this thing until all these bubbles are gone. And I can turn the wheel back and forth without getting any air coming back up in the line. Let me try going all the way to the left here. So it'd probably be easier with two people if you had someone here just gently turning this hand. Oh, there goes some bubbles. Yep, there it goes. Let me turn it a little more that way. Yep, there's some more. See, that thing, that whole system is just full of air. But as I turn the handle, I can't hear anything. But if you were doing this with the engine running, there's no way. You're going to be flushing fluid through the system so fast, it's going to start foaming the oil. So, and I've never seen anybody do this. I ain't much on reading directions. I look at the pictures and get a good idea what's going on. Man, it is so quiet, I can't believe it. And I'm not getting any more air bubbles with the wheel turned all the way to the right. So let me crank a little more. Now when I put some pressure in the system, it goes down a little tiny bit now, so that tells me I shouldn't have most of that air out of there. This might be getting close to done here. Let me go all the way back the other way to the left, far as we can go. Okay, no ugly fluid or bubbles came out that time. Man, I can't believe it. I got this thing purged. So, tell me, what do you think? I see nothing coming out of there now. Let me crank the wheel back. Oh, come on, baby. Go, go, go. Oh, came up a little bit. If it's just fluid in the system, no air bubble, that level should remain constant. Oh, see, there's a little air bubble right there. Right there. And if there's no air bubble in there, there's nothing to expand. Oh, there's one right there. Okay, so you crank. And like I said, if you got your hose down in your fluid, and you can crank or keep cranking while you're there, while you're turning the wheel, you can see the bubbles you're eliminating, and they're not going to flow back up into the pipe. If the tube isn't down in the fluid, and you turn the wheel, it can suck fluid back in there, and you're going to draw air back down into the system. Man, that thing is so quiet. Alright, let's do another side to side. It wants to come up a little bit when I do that. I think I'm going to get my girlfriend out here to turn the wheel back and forth while I crank it. But I'm telling you, I think I got about 99% of the air out of there just by doing this for 10 minutes, and it only took me maybe a quart and a half, 2 quarts. Yeah, two and a half quarts of flushing so far. But I had it previously flushed. There was still a little bit. I didn't flush it this good before. But yeah, hand purging the air in your Ford system. Cut